dass es so der Fall ist, dass, sagen wir mal, in Indien normalerweise der Lebenslauf auch die persönlichen Daten beinhaltet, auch die Hobbys und so weiter. Und dann
Ja.
kommt man zu dem Teil über den beruflichen Werdegang.
Ausbildung.
Ja, über die Ausbildung, Studium, beruflicher Werdegang und so weiter.
Ja.
Was sagen wir mal, wenn wir mit Martin Schwarz sprechen, wir können ihn informieren, dass dein Lebenslauf oder ihr Lebenslauf diese Informationen nicht hat. Was wollen Sie? Soll ich trotzdem das so übersetzen, wie Sie mir das gegeben haben? Oder möchten Sie weitere Informationen nach indischer Konvention hinzugefügt haben? So,
Das ist nur meine Frage.
genau. So, das ist genau die Aufgabe des Übersetzers, dass der Übersetzer dass der Übersetzer nicht nur den Text übersetzt, sondern dem Auftraggeber auch den Kontext erklärt. Ja?
Okay.
Weil du bist ja der Experte. Du weißt, wie es in Indien üblich ist mit einem Lebenslauf. Ja? Du kannst ihm das alles erzählen und dann, das ist seine Entscheidung, die Entscheidung des Auftraggebers, ob er das so haben will oder nicht. Das ist auch, was man unter dem Begriff Localization versteht, ne? Dass man den Text nach örtlichen Gegebenheiten, nach örtlichen Konventionen anpasst. Ja?
Okay, ma'am.
Habe ich jetzt deine Frage beantworten können?
Ja, ich verstehe.
Okay. Because you will not automatically add this. If you don't have that information, how will you add it? No?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to get in touch with the person who has given you this as, project for translation, this translation assignment. Okay, so jetzt kommen wir zu unserem Text. Also ich sehe, dass 7 von euch das übersetzt haben. Und nee, eigentlich 8. Rishubi hat mir das per E-Mail geschickt und dann 7 haben das über Google Classroom eingereicht. Rishubi, funktioniert das Google Classroom bei dir nicht? Warum hast du das per E-Mail geschickt? Bist du überhaupt da, Rishubi? It was showing error. Okay, fine. All
Bei
right.
mir gibt es auch Problem.
Ach so.
Also ich kann es nicht hochladen. Kann ich das auch per E-Mail schicken?
Ja, gerne. Habt ihr überhaupt meine E-Mail-ID?
Nein,
Nee, ne?
nein.
Warte,
nein.
ich schreibe das im Chat dann. Einen Moment. Ist eigentlich ganz einfach. Aber was könnten die Ursachen dafür sein, dass es nicht hochgeladen wird?
Also ich habe es an meinem Laptop gemacht und dann habe ich es selber geschickt und wenn ich es versucht habe, in meinen Dokumenten zu finden, ich konnte es nicht finden. So, eigentlich liegt das Problem nicht bei Google Classroom, bei meinem Handy.
Weil, ja.
Man hat Zugang zu Google Classroom auch am Laptop.
Ja.
Und dann geht es, also wenn man das über Laptop macht. Ich bin technisch nicht besonders begabt. Deshalb frage ich.
Ja, ich konnte das machen. Ja.
Ja, weil ich deinen Namen auch sehe hier. Also, dass du das zwar verspätet, aber doch eingereicht hast. Ja, okay. Naja, so ihr habt als eine andere Möglichkeit meine E-Mail-Adresse. Falls ihr merkt, dass es nicht so da hochgeladen werden kann, dann schickt es mir bitte per E-Mail. Die schaue ich mir auch ständig an. Bitte. Okay, so jetzt kommen wir haben eigentlich schon mit der Diskussion angefangen, dank Sumit. Der hat eine gute Frage gestellt, was macht man mit einem, wo bin ich jetzt? Ah ja, was macht man mit einem Text, der vielleicht nicht den Konventionen der Zielkultur anspricht, und da habe ich schon die Antwort einigermaßen beantwortet. Jetzt möchte ich euch alle fragen, wie ihr die Übersetzung dieses Lebenslauf fandet. Was waren die Schwierigkeiten, welche Hilfsmittel ihr verwendet habt und so weiter und so fort. Wollen wir das alphabetisch machen oder jeder meldet sich selbst zum Wort? Wie soll es geschehen? Und wie gesagt, die Sprachen im Unterricht sind Deutsch, Englisch und Hindi. Alles werden genauso anerkannt. Sumit, let's start with you. Since you did face this problem, what were the other things issues that you faced?
That was only one problem. So that's why I didn't translate it.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
Darf ich sagen?
Ja, Shibani?
Ja, also mir ist schwer gefallen, also diese Begriffe zum Beispiel, also es gibt viele Begriffe, das also schwer auf Englisch zu übersetzen waren. Also zum Beispiel, einen Moment, ja, zum Beispiel wissenschaftliche Hilfskraft oder irgendwas, also nicht nur diese, also alles, ne, also das auf Englisch den richtigen Begriff zu finden, war das schwer.
Okay.
Ja, zum Beispiel Ausbildung zum Bankkaufmann.
Ja.
Und, ja, also, und es gibt zum Beispiel diese allgemeine Hochschulreife, ne? Also Abitur, das ist nicht das, es gibt keine, also man könnte das, also das ist anders wie hier, also nicht das gleiche wie hier in Indien. Ne? Also so, das war schwer, wie man das in diesem Kontext dann übersetzen kann.
Okay, ja. Du hattest damit Probleme, die äquivalente Begriffe zu finden, und alles natürlich im Bereich des Studiums oder der Ausbildung. Alles klar. Wir sammeln zuerst die Probleme ein und dann besprechen wir. Oder vielleicht haben andere auch ähnliche Probleme und haben auch eine Lösung gefunden. Deshalb macht es Sinn, dass man das zuerst...
Lösung brauchen wir von dir. Ja, aber wir haben die ähnlichen Probleme gehabt.
Okay. Lösungen biete ich euch gerne an, aber was ich als meine Aufgabe sehe, ist nicht, dass ich euch Lösungen anbiete, sondern euch den Weg zeige, wie man die Lösungen findet. Ja? Das ist der Sinn dieses Unterrichts. Ja, Chitwan, jetzt hast du mir das per E-Mail geschickt, das habe ich jetzt gesehen.
Ja.
Danke.
Ja.
Okay, so...
Und ich möchte auch etwas hinzufügen, also was Shivani gesagt habe. Nicht nur diese Begriffe, sondern auch wenn wir die Namen von diesen Universitäten gesucht haben oder von Deutsche Bank. So in Indien sagen viele Leute oder nennen Deutsche Bank als German Bank, aber eigentlich wird das so anerkannt. Also das muss ich auch recherchieren. Oder die Namen von Universitäten, Freie Universität. Ich habe, also man kann die Namen schon auf Deutsch schreiben, aber ich habe auch gefunden, als ich nachgeschlagen habe, dass an ein paar Stellen Free University of Berlin geschrieben wurde. Und dann war ich durcheinander, weil ich das nie so gehört habe, immer auf Deutsch gehört habe. So, diese Probleme sind auch aufgetaucht.
Gut. So, also was macht man mit Eigennamen? Ja, äh, weil das sind eigentlich Eigennamen, ne? The proper names. What do you do? Do you translate them? Do you retain them? That is also one question we need to think about. Let's collect other things. Shubhangi?
Yes, ma'am. Ich habe die Schwierigkeiten, wenn ich habe die Bildung Bildungsteile übersetzt habe, weil es gibt einen Abschluss und dann die CIRO-Abschluss, Bankkaufmann. Ne, es gibt nichts in Indien wie dieser Abschluss. So habe ich das keine Äquivalent gefunden.
Okay, das gehört auch dann zu demselben Problem oder zu einem ähnlichen Problem wie was Shivani begegnet ist. Ne? Was macht
Ja,
man, wenn es in dem Zielland keine äquivalenten Begriffe oder keine äquivalenten Abschlüsse gibt?
ja,
Okay,
ich habe auch im Internet recherchiert. Es gibt so viele Lebenslauf, die Begriffe Abschluss benutzt haben, aber ähm, ab, ich habe vergessen, was ich mir sagen möchte.
kein Problem. Ja, äh, ja. Was waren die anderen Probleme oder Herausforderungen? Probleme ist falsch zu sagen, weil also alles hat seine Eigenartigkeiten und deshalb würde ich eher den Begriff Herausforderungen benutzen. Ja, Gautam, I think you were the first one to submit the translation assignment. Yeah, you give an example. So we do have quality control, no? Okay. Did you look it up, what all it covers, this Stabsabteilung? Okay, we come back to that. Right. Okay. Yeah, why was the term diploma difficult? Exactly. Yeah. So as a translator, one needs to be aware of that also, the context of how a term is used in the source culture and how it gets used in the target culture. Uh, so let's collect some more stuff and then we start going point by point. Yeah, other things.
Yes, ma'am. I also find the same problem. Like diploma arbeit, I have find the meaning. It means thesis or degree dissertation, but it's not. I thought कि it's diploma, but it's not diploma. And we abschluss the same words as Shibani and Shubhangi said.
Okay, so all three of you got stuck at the term Abschluss.
Yeah. And
Okay,
ma'am, one more thing that, for
yeah, Sherry.
example, if we are getting tabular form CV, so we have to make in the tabular form only, or we can make it in some other way also.
What do you think it should be done?
I think tabular form. Yeah.
Yes. So as it, I don't know why I'm hearing my echo. Do you all also hear it? Uh, no, now I don't.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, thankfully. So, yeah, where were we? It is, of course, important and not just important, that is a given. It is assumed that when you get something in a particular format, while uh, finishing the assignment, you also submit it in the same format. So if you see this person has written this in cursive, and then this is in bold, this is normal print, you will automatically follow the same pattern. Uh, so this has been done in a tabular pattern. So you would be using the tabular pattern for the same. What always helps is if the uh, translated, I mean, the text which has to be translated, the source text, is given in an open format in Word, then it is very easy for us to, just retain the format and work on it. But in case that format is not given, if it is given to you as a PDF, one option is that you go to these either you have that PDF, Adobe Acrobat, that version which allows you to change a PDF into Word, and then you work on it. Or if that's not available, then you go to these online converters, PDF to Word. What happens very often when you are converting from PDF to Word, especially the formatting, that goes haywire. Yeah. Then of course you can't say, sorry, my PDF converter didn't help me with that, so I'm not changing the format. It is expected from you, you have to do it. So you need to be well versed in formatting. You need to be able to use Word, or I don't know what what Apple has. I think, what is it called in Apple, the software where you
Notes, keynote.
notes. Yeah. So you need to be very you need to know how it works. And if you don't know, then you learn that. That is a part of being a translator, a professional translator. Yeah. So if I, for example, look at your assignments, no, I mean, I'll do that later. You can yourselves think whether you followed that or not. So obviously you don't give a handwritten thing. And obviously you don't just, ठीक है, they can take care of it themselves, the formatting and all. No, that is a part of your job.
I changed the like I put the dates on the left side because as in I saw many examples and like whatever CVs that I have come across, usually like in India or here we put it on the like first the dates and then like is that okay to do or should I just stick to this?
There again, then what Sumit asked, the same thing happens. One gets in touch with the Auftraggeber, the person who's given us the assignment, asks that person or agency that, see, this is how the convention is in our country. Do you want me to do it that way, or do you want me to retain the original format? You don't take decisions on your own. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Or if we are not getting a response, you do it the way it is, and then maybe attach a translator's note saying, ki, see, I have retained the original format, but normally in the target country, it is done this way. How about dates? I mean, are they written the same? Do we follow the same convention here, or is it different? Because that
Like we
also is
can
very,
use
yeah, Chitwan.
we can use them like that also, or with dots. Like in my CV, but yeah, that's a German CV. Yeah, but in English one also, as far as I remember, I have written like this.
Yes, in
But
fact, this
yeah,
reminded me more of an Indian CV, and whereas in German you usually see 3 dot 2 2012 or 1 dot 2009. So perhaps this person also wants to appear international that way, or whatever. Maybe we are not aware of the conventions of German CVs. We have not looked at them enough. Chipan, you were saying something, but
no, you covered my point.
okay, fine. Uh, what about other things? Trishla, you have submitted the assignment. What were the challenges you faced?
Yes, ma'am. I had same difficulties like Chitwan said and Gautam said. Like the university she mentioned, Fry University. Uh, I find it in English and she said it comes free. So I put it in so I translated in like I didn't translated it and remains it I remain it like Fry University only. And like I didn't like I have find many like ma'am referent. I have find four different terms for referent like advisor, consultant, head of division, reporter, or speaker.
Yeah, and then one needs to know which of these fit here in
Yeah,
this
exactly.
particular.
And
Okay.
ma'am, same as diplom Kaufman, like I have found like business diploma or business studies or business administration or business school grad. So there might be like confusion what will fit in it.
Right. And like
Yeah,
Gautam pointed out that how diploma uh, in Germany and what we understand under diploma in India are
yeah.
very different. So what
Hmm.
does one do there then?
So we
Okay.
have to like and in case of university, so we have to write the university's name as it is or change them.
Yes. What I think Chitwan also pointed out, like
Yeah.
proper names, right? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Uh, so similar problems. Let's look at other problems, challenges. I also keep on saying problems. Uh, uh, सैफ, तुम्हारे लिए ये कैसा रहा? क्या दिक्कतें आई इसमें?
यस मैम। मैम, मैं ना अपना मतलब जो होमवर्क था वही नहीं समझ पाया कि मुझे करना क्या है, क्योंकि मुझे पैरेलल टेक्स्ट और इंटीग्रल टेक्स्ट उतना सही से समझ में नहीं आया था।
हाँ,
इस वजह से मैंने सेंड नहीं किया। बट मुझे इतना, इससे पहले महक मैम की क्लास में ये बताया गया था कि जो जैसे कि फ्राई यूनिवर्सिटी बर्लिन है, तो इसका अगर ट्रांसलेशन वेबसाइट पे मिल जा रहा है तो उसे वहीं से मतलब उसको देख के वैसे लिखना है, पहले जर्मन में लिख दो, फिर वो उसका जो ट्रांसलेशन है वो लिखना है।
That can be a possibility, but actually, it all depends on what context. Um, जैसे कि
इसमें मोस्टली तो
हाँ
yes,
बोलो।
इसमें तो मोस्टली सभी जो मतलब किसी कंपनी का नाम या उसकी जो अचीवमेंट है, डिग्री है, उसी का नाम दिया है, तो उसको करना मतलब या तो वहीं से कॉपी करें, उसका नेट पे सर्च करें, फिर उसका जो इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन है उसे वहां से कॉपी पेस्ट करें, या फिर अपनी तरफ से।
ठीक है, वी नीड टू टॉक अबाउट दिस कि ट्रांसलेशन कैसे होना चाहिए और इस पर्टिकुलर इंस्टेंस में कैसे करना ठीक रहेगा। और रही बात इंटरग्रुंस टेक्स्ट और पैरेलल टेक्स्ट की, अगर हम लोग इसको बहुत ही शॉर्ट में सम अप करें तो पैरेलल टेक्स्ट क्या होता है, उसका मतलब किस चीज के लिए हमें जरूरत पड़ती है पैरेलल टेक्स्ट की?
Sprache.
हाँ, मानो अगर मुझे इसको ट्रांसलेट करना है और मैं उसके लिए ये देख रही हूँ कि इंडिया में इंडियन इंग्लिश में सीरीज कैसी दिखती हैं, तो वो क्या होगा, वो पैरेलल टेक्स्ट होगा या हिंटरग्रुंस टेक्स्ट होगा?
आई थिंक इंटीग्रल,
क्यों?
क्योंकि उससे उसका बैकग्राउंड पता चलेगा।
कोई और इस पे कुछ बोलना चाहेगा? मुझे ये जानना है, मैं ये जो किसी मैनेजमेंट वाले इंसान की इंडिया में किसी की सीवी देखती हूँ और उससे हो सकता है मुझे बहुत सारे टर्म्स मिल जाएं जिनमें मुझे अभी मुश्किलें आ रही हैं। तो मैं वहां से लैंग्वेज वो कर रही हूँ ना, और वहां से मैं ये समझ रही हूँ कि इंडिया में जो सीवीज हैं वो किस तरह से बनाई जाती हैं, क्या फॉर्मेट होता है, क्या टर्म्स होते हैं, ये सब। तो ये मुझे बैकग्राउंड, ठीक है माना तुम कह रहे हो बैकग्राउंड, लेकिन ये किस चीज का बैकग्राउंड दे रहे हैं, किस में मदद कर रहे हैं ट्रांसलेशन करने में? ठीक है,
लैंग्वेज में ट्रांसलेशन।
लैंग्वेज में, जैसा कि चितवन ने कहा, जो मेरी सील स्प्राक है, मेरी टारगेट लैंग्वेज है, उसको समझने में ये मेरी मदद कर रहे हैं, उसमें किस तरह से टर्म्स इस्तेमाल होते हैं उसमें मदद कर रहे हैं, यानी ये पैरेलल टेक्स्ट है। अब अगर जैसे त्रिशला मुझे कहती है कि उसको डिप्लोम जो टर्म था, मानो कि उसमें दिक्कत आई, अब इसको डिप्लोम काउफमान क्या होता है ये समझना है, तो उसके लिए वो क्या करेगी? वो जर्मन किसी यूनिवर्सिटी की वेबसाइट पे जा सकती है, जहाँ पे वो मान लो कि विस्मार होक्शूलर है ना, उसी की वेबसाइट पे जाएं और उनके जो है उस पे जाएं कि उनका जो काउफमैनिशे फाखबेराइश है, वहां पे जाके देखें कि उसका किस तरह से डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है। उसमें वो ये भी बता रहे हैं कि हमारे यहाँ से अगर डिप्लोम काउफमान कोई करता है तो ये चीजें कवर होती हैं। तो अब ये हमें क्या इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहा है ये वाला टेक्स्ट?
इंटीग्रल
हिंटरग्रुन।
इसमें हाँ हिंटरग्रुन बता रहा है, क्योंकि उसमें क्या क्या कवर कर पा रहे हैं वो बता रहा है।
हाँ एग्जैक्टली, ये जो शब्द है ये क्या क्या कवर कर रहा है, इसमें क्या क्या इस शब्द में घुसा हुआ है, इफ आई यूज दिस कलोकियल टर्म, है ना, उसमें क्या निहित है। Was steckt hinter dem Wort? Das alles ist drin. Und da hilft uns der Hintergrundtext. So basically, remember a very general definition of a Hintergrundtext is where it helps you understand the source text. है ना? And a parallel text helps you in translating into the target text, a target language, target culture. Okay? So that is the main difference. Now if I तुमने जो पूछा कि मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा था कि सवाल क्या है कि कौन से हिंटरग्रुंड्स टेक्स्ट, कौन से पैरेलल टेक्स्ट आपने इस्तेमाल किए ये ट्रांसलेशन करने के लिए, तो इसमें क्या आप लिख सकते थे, क्या हो सकता था एग्जाम्पल में? आई थिंक त्रिशला तुमने अपने उसमें कुछ लिखा है ना? You've mentioned something, if I'm not mistaken. Or Gautam, was it you? Right. Yeah. So can you give an example of what kind of Hintergrund links, what kind of links did you use for your Hintergrundsrecherche? Right. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Does that make it a bit clear, Saif?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the others. Pratibha, तुम्हें क्या इसमें चैलेंजिंग लगा?
मैम मुझे भी वैसे ही था, जैसे ये फ्राई यूनिवर्सिटी एट बर्लिन है तो फ्री यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ बर्लिन लिखे, या फिर फ्री बोल रहा है तो उसको थोड़ा सा मतलब गवर्नमेंट लिखे, वो नहीं समझ में आता था। फिर स्टार्टिंग में भी है जहाँ पे कि हम वो डिग्री को दर्शाता है तो वो कंप्लीशन भी बोलता है, डिग्री भी बोलता है, कंप्लीट भी बोलता है, तो कौन सा वर्ड जो है यहाँ पे फिट आएगा वो बहुत दिक्कत होता था।
ठीक है। ओके। और कोई कुछ ऐड करना चाहेगा ये जितनी बातें हम लोगों ने अभी तक की हैं उन पे, एंड देन वी स्टार्ट गोइंग सिस्टमैटिकली।
A lot of times in Erfahrung, like the Beruf is not, like the position is not mentioned. Sort of like only department, like for example, business development, but like is the person a business development executive or what? That was unclear.
Okay, let's see. In Erfahrung, na? Berufspraxis.
Unternehmensentwicklung. Like it doesn't say what he was doing there.
Okay, fine. So
But
his,
then,
yeah.
I think we can get in touch with him then and find out.
That in any case, that is, I mean, the ideal situation. But to find out if that possibility is there, one definitely does that. If not, then one has to, of course, also think of other strategies, how to compensate for that lack of communication. Now, let's start looking at some of the problems that you all highlighted.
I have one question.
Yeah, Chitwan.
The CV must be written for some German company or something like that. So, like, there are names of cities mentioned or schools mentioned. Bamberg is also written. Then Schwerin is written. Hamburg, Berlin, like everybody knows. So can we if we are translating this for somebody in India, can we also mention the state or add some more geographical information. Maybe the person doesn't know where the Bamberg, Berlin, and like as I said, Hamburg is known to everybody. So can we also mention the state in terms of India? Like, or should we do that?
I would say no. I'll
No,
tell you
okay,
why. Uh,
okay.
I mean, you have a valid point that Berlin and Hamburg are well known, you know. But here, what is the purpose of your text? Is it giving some kind of, okay, you've added Germany. Um,
Yeah,
each
like
time
Hamburg, yeah, then comma Germany, Berlin, comma Germany.
that gets a bit
I also
too
does the same.
repetitive, no?
Yeah.
If he were doing things from different countries, then, but we see that this person has only studied in Germany, you know. So each time Germany, Germany, that sounds a bit monotonous. I would leave it, frankly. And also, Chitan, I won't mention the name of the state where Schwerin is, or where which other non-Berlin, non-Hamburg places are mentioned, whatever. Yeah. So I wouldn't do that. Because
Okay.
see, what is the purpose of my CV or his CV for that matter? I mean, for the HR person, he or she or they would first, Schwerin is more to check whether this person is telling the truth or not. What they would be first interested in is what kind of experience does this person have. So he has, he has done Unternehmensentwicklung, and this was a full-time job, and where at the this company, hydraulic Nordgruppe. The name of the place is very, very secondary, not needed. Yeah. But coming to the names of Freie Universität, and which were the other ones that you all found that people have also translated differently? One was Freie Universität and Deutsche Bank, Chitwan. I would definitely tell you not to translate them in English. People do that. And you might even find references about Freie Universität being referred to as Free University. But Freie Universität is a term. It is, and if you do a simple Google search, how, let's put Freie Universität.
The English comes on the side.
It comes on the side.
On
How
Google.
often?
How often?
And Free University Berlin. Okay. So how many search results have we got? More than 6 crores कुछ दिख रहा है for Freie Universität. And here you see what, so FU Berlin calls itself Freie Universität Berlin, and although this is their English, uh, I mean the site in English translation, Masters portal, Freie Universität. Here Wikipedia, not a reliable source. Free University of Berlin, topuniversities.com, Freie Universität, etc., etc. Now let's look at Free University. Tens, 100,000, 10,000 lakh. Okay, even more. But what do you see? First thing, Freie Universität. Shiksha.com calls it Free University of Berlin. Wikipedia again. And let's then look, College Dunia calls it Free University of Berlin. But what about the more reliable sources? Study in Berlin. Okay. Mm. Here again, DAD calls it Freie Universität. I wouldn't translate it as Free University. That would mean we end up translating, think of it, um, of a university from India. Which one is it in Meerut? Guru Ghasiram, or what is it called?
And we also have Gandharv Mahavidyalaya, so one might cannot convert Mahavidyalaya into high school. That might mean a complete different meaning for the other.
Yeah. So the names are retained. What you do, of course, if you think that it is needed, not translate like Seth, you were saying ki within brackets put Free University Berlin or Deutsche Bank, then you put within brackets German Bank, or Landesbank Berlin becomes State Bank. No, that doesn't happen. That should not be done, and especially not on a CV where you have to be very also quite brief. I mean, it is after all a tabellarischer Lebenslauf. How is a tabellarischer Lebenslauf different than what is the other one called, where you have things in a text, a form? I'm forgetting the German or the English name for it. Here you stick to the very minimal information, and I mean, think of it. Freie Universität Berlin. Why would one need to translate that as Free University Berlin? What are we offering to the reader by translating it as Free University Berlin? What are we trying to communicate through that? Does it help me as a reader in understanding things better? Do I understand something like the Free University Berlin was, what is what are its policies like? Why was it named Free University, etc., etc.? And even if I, as a reader, am able to guess all that, how does it make a difference to my giving this person a job?
Yes,
It's not important, I think.
but
What he
Namita,
studied.
Yeah, yeah,
if we
someone said.
have Goethe Institute, like it's just an example, but in
Huh?
India we call it as Max Muller Bhavan. Would you translate it to Max Muller Bhavan from Goethe Institute, if that's the case, because it is known as Max Muller Bhavan in India? If that would have been the case, like this purpose is not getting solved here.
Because see here, when you give me the example of Goethe and MMB, the difference
Hmm.
is that here in the target culture, it has
Hmm.
acquired a new name, no?
New name, exactly.
But if I am,
Yes.
let's say, I write that I have done my DLR, I'm a Grünes Diplom from Goethe Institute München, then I will obviously not call it MMB.
Yes, yes.
I would still say Goethe Institute München. But when I talk about my JLR from Pune and Mumbai and Delhi, then I will uh, um, right? Goethe Institute, Max Muller Bhavan, Delhi, Max Muller Bhavan, Pune, and maybe if I'm, let's say, translating this thing for an American public, then I would put within, as a footnote, uh, that Goethe Institute is known as Max Muller Bhavan in India. So it also depends on who are you translating it for and whether that is needed or not needed. And why would I say here that MMB is known as Goethe Institute in India? Because my, I mean, I would be submitting my, what are they called? My certificates and all also, no? And my certificate will say Max Muller Bhavan, and maybe it would also say within bracket Goethe Institute or something. So just trying to show that whole relation, that people don't think ki ye, somewhere I'm saying this and somewhere else I'm saying that. So to kind of, save myself from being, from my application being thrown away. Are you getting me what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
There's utter silence. I don't know why. I mean, is it some kind of a
No, no,
doubt, or because I mean, I would
it's
welcome
clear.
doubts. Yeah. So yeah, let's come back to proper names. Whether, and in the
Even like
context of,
this,
yeah, sorry,
sorry,
Shivani.
yeah, like hydraulic not grouper, like we will not convert grouper to group, like
No,
translated.
no,
Hmm.
definitely not.
Okay.
And the same happens with
Um,
Age also. Yeah, Shubhangi.
yes, ma'am, I have something to say about it regarding this hydraulic. Why can we not just convert it hydraulic not group? Because that was something that I found on internet that there was something called hydraulic knot group. It means what I observed that it means the hydraulic knot is a name, and when it comes to the group, that is something that is in German thing and not a part of the name. So I translated it as a hydraulic knot and then group.
Okay. So we find here what you are saying. Um, yes. So they call themselves in English as hydraulic knot group. Okay. Let's look at more. So if the company itself is calling itself that in its English
Yes, that's
translation, then you obviously take it from there. Yeah.
Um, yes,
So
that is the thing. What I wanted to say is the group is something that is here not a part of the name. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
yes, I know, but at times it might be a part of the name, so you need to check that.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, Siemens are gay. If we, so even in English, although AG, Aktiengesellschaft, it might not make any sense to a German, to a non-German reader. But now that name has become, how to say, has ist fest verankert. That suffix ag. So even in their English website, the official English website also, they are calling themselves Siemens AG. So you stick to that. So that is where, again, you need to search how that particular. So like we saw Freie Universität, it calls itself, even in English, Freie Universität. Its official website calls it that, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yes.
So then, or Deutsche Bank, I mean, I would be interested to know what Deutsche Bank calls itself in English. Does it? Uh,
But ma'am, regarding that AG thing, I have something to add or discuss. Ki
yeah, definitely.
AG means that it is a public company, है
Right.
ना?
Yeah.
And when it comes to India, we don't write public limited to a company. So,
Mm.
keeping this in mind, I have not returned AG anywhere where it was written. Only GmbH because in India it is like something and then PVT Ltd private limited. So I just wrote that and not public limited because it's not there in India.
See, but it has become a part of its name, no? That is what I'm trying to say. But let's say, okay, Shubhangi, talking about Age and GmbH, let's say you get there is some company secretary who or a corporate lawyer who wants to get handels register, the I mean the registration of a particular company in Germany translated into English. So where you say that AG, the private limited, you said was the English term for it in Indian context.
Public limited and private limited.
Okay, public limited and GmbH is private limited. These are and public limited is not commonly used in India, so you will leave it. But here in this particular case, who is your client? Why does he want to know the nature of that company, whether it is a public limited, a private limited, or where a family ownership, whatever it is called in English? That why is he getting it translated?
I might agree, but matlab, we don't. My only point is कि we don't have something like this in English. So why do we even need to write that? If a person, if the person whosoever person he is writing to, matlab, the CV is regarding for the company. If they want to know कि what is this, and I believe that there are so many things in a CV also that not everybody's know, not everybody knows. And so if he wants to have that kind of thing, ki what is it? He or she can search on internet, no?
So basically, then that person has to. I mean, we are now coming back to our CV, yeah, where this age is there, and you are saying, for example, why even have it when it is not there in, um, let's say, Indian context. What I'm saying is the fact that it is not there in Indian context doesn't mean that I do away with it. I still have to do it. I still have to retain it, provided the company in its name has retained it even in English. Now let's take this example of Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Von Goethe, yeah, we don't have an English equivalent for it. What will you
Because
do?
now, it's his complete name. Even Son Goethe is considered as his name.
It is his complete name, na? So, for example, if Siemens AG, although that AG is not there in English, uh, do we do away with that name? We only keep it as Siemens.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's listed as Siemens AG also, even on stock websites everywhere.
Hmm.
So, does that answer
Maybe.
the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Maybe I haven't think of it in this context.
yes. Okay. So, this was one thing. What to do with names? What to do? Translate them, not translate them, depends on what is the purpose of translating. Now, if in a literary text you have someone like here, uh, Müller war genau so gewöhnlich wie sein Nachname. Now you have this in a, literary text. What do you do then? I just said that you don't translate names. But you get a sentence like this. What will you do?
I would write Mr. Mueller because
Then I would write that.
Okay. And why is, and let's say Mr. Mueller was as common as his family name, as his surname. Now, is Mueller a very common name in English?
no.
No.
So then, or let's say in Hindi, श्रीमान म्यूलर अपने नाम की ही तरह साधारण थे, या श्रीमान म्यूलर उतने ही साधारण थे जितना उनका नाम. Now, is Mueller a very साधारण name in Hindi?
So if it's not referring to a specific person like Mr. Mueller, like can we make it like Shriman Sharma or something like that?
So you need to, that will be your decision then, but you need to read between the lines and understand, why is this thing being used there? So we have a Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, we have a Siemens AG, we have a Herr Müller. They are appearing in different contexts. And why, and what is the purpose of my translating then? So there is nothing like a hard and fast rule that you never translate proper names. There is nothing like you have to translate proper names. You have to understand the context. So, for example, Saif raised this question. I think koi university ka naam tha, and then within your teacher suggested to you that usko put the translation within brackets. But what was the context? Why was that suggested? That is important for us to understand. Okay. Maybe, where was that being said कि university का name translate कर दो? Saif? Okay, since he's not around, let's go to our next thing of finding Abschluss and the names of the Abschlüsse, Diplom, etc., etc. Shibani, you said, Gautam said diplom and diploma are two totally different things. And if I were to write, and I think Trishula or who was it? Pratibha, one of you said ki diploma Arbeit can mean the master's thesis, it can mean the whatever.
Dissertation.
I think Trishla said it, yeah. So now if we have all that here, what do you need to check then? Where will you get an idea? What is this diploma? How to translate this diploma Arbeit here? This person has done a studium. And Studium der Betriebswirtschaftslehre, which usually means how many years? And this was done between 2010 and 2013. So it was actually after the introduction of this masters and I mean, earlier you had these Diplom-Studiengänge, and then later on, the German education system also shifted to this, what we have in India, bachelor's and master's. So you need to first of all look up that, you know, what kind of study, what kind of education has this person acquired? What does this Hochschule Wismar, what is the, you know, is doing? Oh, and by the way, sorry, it is very clear here from Diplom Kaufmann that at that time he didn't, this person didn't do a master's, he did a diploma. And a diploma, like Gautam said, he looked it up in the Hintergrundtext. That was a totally different system. So you have to then, I retain that and then annotate it, explain it, you know, with an asterisk or within bracket, equivalent to this. You know, you have to find a parallel for it. You don't just translate diploma as a diploma.
हेलो मैम।
Yeah, Suraj?
मैम मैंने जब ये सर्च किया था डिप्लोम कॉफमान, तो उसमें जाकर मैंने देखा था जर्मन बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिग्री सिमिलर टू एमबीए, ऐसा शो किया था मैम।
Okay, so similar to MBA, so that you can put within your brackets, no?
ओके मैम।
Yeah, so that the HR person has an idea. What is this diploma this person has? And talking about other things, gymnasium. This, sorry, Shibani, you finish and
Here
then
I
I'll.
have a question. Sorry. How will you
Yeah,
in that? How
definitely.
will you translate that Studium der Betriebswirtschaftslehre?
Okay.
Because here
Is
I also researched and I like understood it to be MBA, so I've written it as just MBA.
See, nowadays they call it that also, not the BWL-Studium, which is your MBA, Betriebswirtschaftslehre. Yeah. So what you can say is similar to or at par with, you know. So you need to look at it whether, and one way of finding these things is go to certain, you know, university sites where they have this list of, you know, what are equivalent degrees, like the American universities, many of them have that, you know. That will also give you an idea of whether it is at par or like we, if that, I mean, that is where I was coming to my gymnasium thing. If we say gymnasium, how would we translate that into English, English, Indian context? What is a Gymnasium? Ein deutsches Gymnasium. Does he talk about his Gymnasium here anywhere? No. He has done a Allgemeine Hochschulreife. Now, what is, from Robert Stock Gymnasium. So, and Abschluss Abitur. Now, what is an Abitur?
School leaving examination. Yeah.
Okay, one can call that the school leaving examination. Within Indian context, if we were to talk about it, in Maharashtra, for example, it's till class 10th that you have school, and 11th and 12th are also called junior college, if I'm not mistaken. So what do we do then? Is it school leaving or college leaving? And school leaving, school in India is usually 12 years, no? But
Yes.
is an abitur always a 12-year thing? Nowadays, yes, many states have that, but at that time, was it a 12-year thing or longer, shorter?
Long.
So then, what do you do?
Explain in bracket.
Yes.
Can we write 12 plus 1?
Okay, and how is that different than writing 13 years of schooling or something like that?
Maybe because we have 12 and then like
We have
some
plus
other
2, na?
countries
Huh.
have plus 1.
Acha, some other countries do have that. In
Yeah,
the sense, do they also describe it that way? That is what I'm
no,
asking.
no.
So then look for what is, I mean, uh, again, your parallel text will help you here because maybe there are many, I think UK, you will still have 12 years of school, no? So there you can look for some parallel texts which give you an idea of how do they describe a German Abitur. From there you can get your ideas. Okay. Or I think US also has 12 years of schooling or 13 years. I don't know. So you need to look up these things. You have to work on them. They will not come to you like, automatically. Uh, there was one thing which Shibani had pointed out, I think. Unternehmensentwicklung, you said, no, Shibani?
Yes.
So what did you do there?
I translated it as business development, but
Okay.
that doesn't give the
His position.
profession, yeah, his position basically, just the department or area.
But has he given that in any of the place?
Yeah, like
Um,
here, referent. In some he's given, in
ha,
some he's not.
yes, referent he has given.
Hmm.
Then here again he has not given
Hmm.
Unternehmenskommunikation.
Yeah.
Then here Qualitäts. Uh, and again, like here, that was one part where you all had quite a few questions. Somebody had also asked about a referent, whether what does the term referent mean in this context? Uh, it is a full-time job, that is clear from here, and referent, what could it mean in
It's
terms of investor relations?
designation.
Consultant.
Like it's the designation. So
Yes.
yeah. An assistant.
What one could do is, again, do background research. How what you can do is look up for maybe some Stellenanzeigen, where they are looking for some kind of a referent for investor relations. There you will be able to make out what kind of job profile that is, you know, and through that then you make an informed decision how to translate it into English. So what I am again and again trying to harp on is through this, that how your background and your parallel texts are needed at every step for understanding, not only for understanding but also for finding equivalence. Yeah.
Even this Vorbereitung Studienabschluss Psychologie, like, I mean, what
Yeah,
I
why is he
understand.
calling it? I mean, this must be some kind of an official term, no? I mean, otherwise, if we
Yeah, I
think
didn't
of it,
understand. Hmm.
huh? Or is he trying to show some kind of a gap period?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. If it's a gap, then I would not I mean, we usually don't mention it in a
true.
CV. Yeah.
Yeah, until unless this person is mentioning it to show some kind of, it is a value addition to his CV. That is why he has added it, no?
Yes, yes.
5 months of Vorbereitung. So what is it? So one goes and searches, what is it? Yeah. And then the same thing happens with wissenschaftliche Hilfskraft. So, isn't it something like what in American universities we have these tutors, the students who work as TAs, teaching assistant? Is
Yeah,
it something
teaching
like that?
assistant.
So then, and in India also we had for a while. In fact, even in our department we had the TA system. So is it the same as what a wissenschaftliche Hilfskraft is in Germany? So you need to look that up. So each and every term has to be researched, and then comes the translation of it. First you need to understand, like uh, Pratibha said it very well, I mean, what all does that term carry with it? What kind of baggage does it have? That you need to look up. And in fact, in this whole CV, uh, that is what is important, that eh, I mean, the kind of qualifications this person has don't get diluted, that they are represented as well as possible. They shouldn't be underrepresented, they shouldn't be overrepresented, but that all the nuances get conveyed. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is all that I want to discuss with you all today. Uh, I will go through your translations in any case and give a more specific, feedback to each translation. We meet now tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
And I hope
Yes.
you all have read the text that I have uploaded. If you have not read it, please do it today. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Cheers, done. We meet tomorrow. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.